say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power.
And a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
They both hit hard. Yeah. Because and you can see the strength. You know, when I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
Boxing fans, get ready. The fight the whole world is waiting for. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is finally here. Legends, champions, and experts are all giving shocking predictions, and what they're saying will leave you stunned. Stay tuned, because every second of this breakdown could change how you see this mega fight. Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith discuss the huge fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Stephen A. predicts that Crawford could win by decision, but he warns it will not be easy. He recalls Gervonta Davis's warning that Crawford could get in trouble if he tries to trade punches too much, since Canelo has the natural size and power advantage. Stephen A. believes Crawford must use defense, speed, and ring IQ instead of going punch for punch. For him, strategy is more important than strength.
Greatness. And a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
And that's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble, and I'm not sure it was him, but I think it was him. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's going to go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight.
Max Kellerman adds that Crawford's skills look sharper overall, giving him a clear technical advantage. But Canelo's strong chin and naturally bigger frame make him dangerous in every exchange. At the same time, Kellerman points out that Canelo has not looked as sharp in recent fights, showing small signs of decline. This makes the fight a battle of Crawford's timing against Canelo's durability.
Great chin. A great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him. But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford.
Okay.
But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy.
Yeah. You briefly mentioned Canelo's power, so who I would assume Canelo has the
You'd have to think, unless Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimov.
Antonio Tarver, the former champion and respected analyst, supports Crawford, but admits that this is the toughest challenge of his entire career. Tarver says Crawford has already proven himself in different weight divisions, but this fight is on another level. He explains that this fight will be the biggest test not only for Crawford, but also for Canelo, who has never faced a challenge quite like this.
Harvest Take, I'm Bud County all the way, but this is going to be the toughest fight, the best fighter Bud has ever been in the ring with. And arguably, this could be the best fighter Canelo has ever been in the ring with. We'll find out which one is which on September 13th.
Antonio, I appreciate your time. Safe travels back home.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonio.
Timothy Bradley Jr. known for his sharp boxing IQ, believes the first round will be cautious. Both fighters will avoid big risks in the beginning and instead study each other's movement, timing, and openings. Bradley explains that Crawford usually starts carefully in big fights, setting traps after he understands his opponent. Canelo also uses the first round to measure distance and then adjusts during the fight. This makes the start more like a chess match than an all-out war.
Versa, Crawford wants to feel his punching power as well. You know, in the beginning, it's all the position balance. Like both guys are trying to get balance and trying to find their rhythm, you know, understanding their distance to where they can punch and at the same time avoid getting hit. You know, it takes Crawford a little bit more time than I would say Canelo to get right to it. Canelo, although he is a prolific counterpuncher, fantastic counterpuncher, you know, he tends to find his spots a lot quicker, you know, and the indication of that is when, if you look at any of the boxers that Canelo has faced, Trout, even Danny Jacobs, even when he fought against Charlo, you just check out the first round. You know, he usually takes off, just feels the power, you know, cruises, you know, see what these guys know, couple of feints, level changes, you know, gathering information, right? Crawford does the same and similar things. So I think the first round's going to be a real, like, calm and cautious round by both fighters. But in the second round, Canelo's going to start applying that pressure, man. Pre-engagement with Crawford is a little bit more difficult than a Charlo, okay? And let me explain this. So pre-engagement is the movements before you get into that sweet spot, which is mid-range, to be able to let your hands go, right? Both guys are trying to counter each other's movement. Both guys are looking at each other's, you know, hands, trying to anticipate what they believe is going to come next.
Amir Khan, who has fought both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, shares his unique view. Khan says Crawford is already a proven all-time great at welterweight, but warns that weight classes exist for a reason. Moving up against a naturally bigger fighter like Canelo is very risky. Khan believes Crawford did not need to take this fight, since his legacy is already secured. Still, he respects Crawford's ambition, calling it a bold attempt to silence critics and do what very few fighters in history have done: beat the weight divisions. For Khan, this fight can either make Crawford a legend forever or put his career in serious danger.
And we did all the build-up. They were nothing but respectful.
Yeah.
I just feel that, you know, in boxing, weight divisions are made there they make them for a purpose. And I highly respect and say pound for pound, the best fighter is Crawford by far, and beats anyone. But when you start putting weight on and you go up a weight and you fight these guys like Canelo, even though Canelo might be now getting a little bit older and it might be slowing down a little bit, but he's still going to be very dangerous. That punch power, you're still going to get tagged, you're still going to get hit. You're going to have to spar heavier guys to get ready for that anyway. So you're going to be taking a lot of wear and tear anyway. You're going to have to adding a few pounds on. Does he need to put that pressure on himself? He's done what no one's ever done before. 2-time undisputed world champion. So why not just enjoy? But obviously you want to go for that next challenge. Now for him, he wants to go for that Canelo. I would advise him not to go for that. Yeah. But if he's the man and he knows how good he is himself. So I can't really say to him that do this or do that. So really,
he believes in his skills. He feels
he believes in his skill. Yeah. We can't answer for him. Yeah. We let him go and do it. You know what I'm saying? And we all might be wrong. Yeah. He might be even stronger than Canelo. He might pack the weight on well. Yeah. That he might do really well in there. So look, regardless,
you fought them both. Like what are the differences between them? Obviously, it's way.
Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit. Very easily. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean. Yeah. So really, that's the difference. And they both hit hard. Yeah. Because and you could see the strength. You know, when I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, yeah, But why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
Promoter Tom Loeffler looks at the fight from a business and global perspective. He says Canelo and Crawford are two of the biggest names in the sport, with fan bases that spread across the world. Very few fights in modern times can compare to this one in terms of size and importance. According to Loeffler, it is not just a fight of skills, but a battle of empires. Canelo as the longtime face of boxing and Crawford as the rising pound-for-pound king. He believes the hype is fully justified because it is rare to see two fighters of this level agree to meet, especially with weight and legacy on the line.
High-profile show, it's huge. It doesn't get any bigger than that, and you know, you got to give credit to both guys. They're both very confident. They both have very passionate fan bases. You know, Callum, you know, having fought in Dublin, packed the arena out there, the 3 Arena, having fought at Madison Square Garden 3 times, fought in Boston, and then Fernando Jr., you know, from one of the biggest boxing named families, you know, in the history of boxing. He's going to bring out a huge fan base. So it's a really exciting addition to, you know, such a big show that like I said, doesn't get any bigger than that for sure.
I agree. I think that you, along with me, have seen some of these criticisms of the undercard. But really, when you look at it, I mean, we both know Callum Walsh so well. The personality and the authenticity that he brings to this sport is just so sincere. He's so real, you know, being from Ireland, coming overseas to train and dedicate his life to this craft. And his personality is so magnetic that it obviously brought someone like Dana White to be a huge supporter of him.
Trainer Dave Coldwell talks about Crawford's unique style. He highlights Crawford's ability to switch stances, control distance, and use his footwork to create angles. Coldwell believes these are Crawford's most underrated weapons. Against a powerful pressure fighter like Canelo, movement is the key. If Crawford stays mobile, avoids the ropes, and uses his rhythm, he has the tools to outsmart Canelo and win rounds.
From when the fight got made, I've always fancied Crawford. I just think it's different. I think there's something about him. I think if you add what Crawford's good at, his brain, he can switch. He's very good as a southpaw. His judgment of distance is fantastic. His punch picking is fantastic. He's got good legs. When you add what, and he can pop. I mean, listen, I'm not saying he's got the power to hurt Canelo, but he might have the power to surprise Canelo a little bit and just sting him and just. But when you look at what Crawford does well, and then I look at this version of Canelo, as Canelo's got on, his punch rate's gone down. His feet have never been the fastest, but he's always had good placement of feet. His feet aren't the fastest. And he loads up. And he don't really like boxing at a pace. So I kind of look at that and I think Crawford can manage his way through the fight to win it on points. I think he can manage moments, tough moments. When Canelo detonates a big shot on him, he's going to know about it because Crawford's been hurt before. And Crawford gets hit. He does get hit. That's why he's exciting. But he does get hit. So that means that Canelo could land on him. I just think that Canelo will land a bomb and Crawford knows enough to tie up, to get off at an angle, to get that distance.
Jeff Mayweather focuses on the natural weight factor. He says Canelo has been dominant at super middleweight, a division that perfectly suits his body and strength. Crawford, on the other hand, is moving up into a weight class that is not natural for him. This raises questions about his speed, stamina, and ability to take punches. Mayweather stresses that Canelo's comfort at this weight gives him a big advantage, since he does not need to make major adjustments.
Big factor, and I mean, this is a weight class that Canelo is already, owned. He owns his weight class. And so, and he even went up higher. So, he's already proven what he can do and what he can take at those other weight classes. So, I mean, I don't know, but if anyone can do it, it probably would be Terence Crawford. I mean, this guy seems like he's amazing. I mean, he's, you know, I mean, I'm a big fan of Terence Crawford, but I'm a big fan of Canelo as well. You know, so I mean, it's one of those situations where somebody has to lose. So I don't know who's gonna lose, but I think that it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a great fight.